Welcome back, guys, to part two of the KC report that is very late. Um, I've been sidetracked by a lot of full-time job stuff and everything, but I want to get this video out before it's too late. So, as you noticed from the first video, I used 6 SAMs the whole way, so here's the deck finally. It's pretty standard as you can see, and it actually surprised me to learn that most of the KC Cup deck list had a similar build. 3 keys on is pretty staple, 3 Fuma staple, 3 of each of the continuous spells is staple. My unique choices were I added Treacherous in the last haul because it was becoming too good against stall, and Enemy Controller was good for tributing off Lava Golems and Parasites and a whole bunch of other nonsense. But it also assisted with getting OCKs easier, so that was another thing. If you look at the first place deck list, the only difference between my deck and his is that he has an extra dual wheel in place of Econ, so pretty standard like I said. But talking about the matchups a little bit, I'll talk for maybe half the video, but unfortunately half of these matchups are mirror matches. 6 Samurai is probably the best deck right now, and it was the most popular deck in the KC Cup. There was no way to get around it. I had to use it. I tried Sync Bronze in the beginning, and I realized I wanted to actually work hard on this KC Cup, so I just wanted to use the best deck. It is a Synchro deck, so I'm pretty excited about that. Last time I tried to use Ancient Gears, I only got to 20,000, but getting to 40,000 with this deck was a real big improvement. So I did try to use Ancient Gears after I hit the 20,000 mark, but I wasn't succeeding as well, and that's partially my fault because I didn't really take the time to make the proper changes for the meta like most people did. But the 3 decks I kept facing, 6 Samurais I mentioned, Ancient Gears trickled in, and then Stall. So Stall was the counter to 6 Samurais. Amazonas is like a plague that won't die, and as much as I hate the deck, anytime a shift comes in a meta like this, they start to become relevant again. So there's a few Amazonas matches here and there. The reason I was able to climb from 35,000 to 40,000 is mainly because I didn't see that many. And if you look at this video, like a string of my victories come off the coin flip alone, excuse me. But aside from Stall, 6 Samurais in the mirror match, I just had to make sure I was going first. Going first was like the most important part of the duel. It lets you get Xian out first, gives you a negate on your opponent's turn, and you could possibly get dual wield or treacherous to disrupt your opponent. That pretty much is the game plan against most decks, but Ancient Gears you pretty much have no choice but to go first against, because if you don't have Xian and you allow them to get like a double Cyclone or a Galaxy Cyclone onto their gear town, you're gonna have a rough time trying to get over them. Stall is the one matchup where you have to play carefully, because swarming the board with your monsters usually doesn't end well because of Lava Golem and Parasite changing your monster types. But so talking about this part in the video real quick, I do run X-Saber Wayne. He was like a last minute addition that the chat recommended. So Kizaru, the one of, is a card that lets you search your deck when it's special summoned. But if it's in your hand, you can't really get its effect off that well. So that's what led me to run Wayne. Wayne can special summon Kizaru from the hand, get you a +1 real quick. It wasn't the most common play, but it was a little trick that came in handy. So over here I misplayed because I was expecting Cypher Soldier, and I was gonna like crash, take some damage, and then shuffle it back into the deck. But this is probably where I started seeing Sazank more often in deck. So as you notice in the chat, I should have swung with Xian first, and then possibly could have had lethal still afterwards. But it's not the end of the duel. We do manage to recover. As I said, Ancient Gears, pretty much they need to like pop Gear Town or get 2 counters on the castle to get rolling. So that's the one reason why I'm not setting dual wield, because I'm afraid of him using a double Cyclone on Fortress, because they would set Fortress to try to be sneaky sometimes, but that wasn't the case there. Or we don't know. He didn't get a chance to make it happen. But once again, 6 Samurai Mirror, nothing special. Usually any character you run into with ties that bind, it was going to be a 6 Samurai match. That's the way I saw it. Surprisingly, I did not run into Koki Maru. I only ran into them twice. And this one was on Saturday, and the second one I think will come up in a bit. But Koki Maru, surprisingly, based on the results, did way better than I thought it would. And the duel coming up, you see, I like completely brain fart because I'm on autopilot mode facing 6 Samurai Mirrors. So the number one thing I really had an issue with was autopiloting. Facing 6 Samurai after 6 Samurai, you start to like go for the same game plan and make the same moves. And sometimes it was all on the coin flip. As you saw there wasn't much I could do. It probably was, I could have just passed or something along that nature, but if it wasn't in your favor to begin with, you most likely lost. So that's how most of the duels went. So when I ran into like a deck that I wasn't used to seeing, I would draw a blank completely. So that's one toxic thing I ran into in the KC Cup that I wished I could have worked on. But 40,000, 20,000 higher than my previous was a good improvement, as I said before. I could have made it farther. If you remember from the beginning of the video, I only played maybe 100 duels, and my win percentage was 60%. Most of the people who made like top 100 global, they played over 200, 300 duels. If I would have had that much time and maybe a little bit more luck, I could have made it a lot farther, I think. But at the 43,000 mark, I got intimidated. I was like, hey, we made it a long way, so let's just stop here. And I think that was a bad play on my part. I should have kept going and see how far I could have gotten. I noticed a lot of other streamers, they made it pretty far and then they got tilted and they dropped a lot. But that was part of the reason why I just wanted to stop where I was at. But you learn from your experiences. Next time I'm gonna try to go even farther. We'll see if 6 Samurai stays relevant by next KC Cup. People are already calling for the nerfs on this deck. It's possible this deck may get nerfed. I don't think it's too bad. I hope people don't pull out their pitchforks for me saying that, but the deck pretty much has one extra piece of consistency that it didn't need. Be that United or Dojo or Fuma. Those three things, just the consistency on the deck is way too good to get consistent Shiens on turn 1 and to ruin your opponent. Last duel I want to talk about, this is the Koki Maru duel that I blanked on completely. What I was supposed to do was Econ take and tribute keys on, but for some reason I hesitated and I had no idea what to do. So I lose Armades, I econ the ice into defense mode, and if you notice, I had Parasite on the top of the deck before and it magically popped up there again. So he's going to top deck a Diamond Core and pretty much ruin my life here. And that's the example I was talking about. An easy win I could have gotten and my autopiloting ruined me. But everything's a learning experience, so after that I did not see Koki Maru for the rest of the night, and I hope I won't see it too often because KC Bling is something that has made the deck pretty fair. It's not like it used to be, but it's still relevant, and I've seen people still open up the same god hands that they used to open pre-nerf, but that's just how it goes. So I'm gonna stop the commenting in there. If you made it this long, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the duels, and I'll be bringing the next King of Games video for this month, and it's definitely going to be synchronized. I'm calling it now, no matter how long it takes. I will get King of Games with synchronized. So stick around for then. Follow the Twitch. I'll link it in the description below, and I will also link the deck in the description. I think it only works on mobile, but if you want to download the deck and use it for yourself. Anyway, once again, that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of the duel, and I'll catch you guys next time.